I'm pleased now to recognize the gentlelady from California, Linda Sánchez, for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Conyers, for your leadership and for organizing this special order to highlight the grave consequences of Senate Republican obstructionism by blocking a simple up or down vote on the nomination of Judge Merrick Garland to the Supreme Court. You know, Republicans claim to love the Constitution, yet they refuse to acknowledge their constitutional duties. Senate Republicans have chosen to play politics instead of doing what's right for the American people. They simply don't want to do their job. President Obama faithfully fulfilled his constitutional duty by nominating Chief Judge Merrick Garland to the Supreme Court. But Senate Republicans refuse to even hold a hearing to just consider Chief Judge Garland's nomination. This refusal to fulfill a constitutional duty of theirs to vet and vote on this nominee is indicative of Republicans' 8-year strategy of obstructing President Obama at every opportunity. And who loses? The American people do. The worst excuse that I've heard as to why Senate Republicans are shirking their duty is that the American people should have a say in the process. I'd like to remind my Senate Republican colleagues that the American people, including 11.2 million Latinos who voted in the 2012 election cycle, already had a voice in this nomination. The American people expressed their will when they overwhelmingly re-elected President Obama to a second full term, with the understanding that if a vacancy occurred, it's part of the president's duty to nominate a Supreme Court justice. I'd like to remind my Republican colleagues a full presidential term is 4 years, not just 3. I know math can be hard and a little tricky, so I wanted to make sure that my Republican colleagues in the Senate were clear on that. The vacancy before us is one that is critically important for all Americans, but especially for Latinos living in the United States. The President has fulfilled his obligation. Now it's time for the Republican senators to do their job. Thank you, and I yield back.